What's up, everyone? I'm coming at you with the first official new video from the new project room. As you can see, we're having a little bit of a celebration beer here because a project has finally, it's been a long time coming, this project. Daryl has been extremely patient with this process as I've developed this holster for him. Now, on the face of it, it's not any different. It's just for a 226 with a TLR1, pretty standard stuff here. The holster looks more or less like any other holster I've ever made so far, but it's got a couple extra rivets, and that'll come into play in a minute. But as of now, I mean, it looks pretty standard. It's got good definition, good retention. It's got a good little shield here. He also got a double mag carrier for it, which I think turned out very well. I put the extra beefy belt loops on this one. And now, what makes this one special is that it's convertible. It's convertible from a slim concealment style holster. There's nothing bulky about this. It's not, I didn't alter the dimensions of this holster in any way. It's still the same as basically what anyone would get normally. It's completely functional. You know, it's wide and has good weight distribution. It's sort of same shape, same size in every respect as a conventional holster that I make. However, there's one little difference. A friend of mine works at a spot that does makes packaging, and he was able to help me out and use a. Now, GunfightersINC is totally going to think this is cheating, and I'll admit it is probably is cheating, but it's part of a larger project, so it's part of a bigger prototyping process, and it might involve more things. So I'm going to share something fun with you guys. He was able to set up a, I think it's like a computer-controlled router to make sheets of this material. Now, we don't have the process totally sorted out yet because the Kydex itself is a little inconsistent. So it can run into stuff where it's not the same, absolutely perfect thickness the whole way through. So you get incomplete cuts or melting depending on the bit you use. So this is just round one of this process. However, what you do get is an entirely uniform MOLLE compatible sheet, whereby you can run your holster vertically or horizontally just by changing the configuration. So see, I could weave this guy through like that and have it run one way, but since they're all crosses, I can then run them through, of course, the other way as well, horizontally. And that allows me to cut a section of this and mold it in perfect contour to the standard style holster. I don't have to make any other kind of adaptation for this. So you guys have all seen this kind of holster on a belt before. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to real quickly, I mean, it's not instantaneous. It's not like, for instance, a Blackhawk rig where you can, it's got the quick connect and you can switch it from your, drop leg to your duty belt to your chest rig. However, this does things that the Blackhawk can't do, namely be concealable and not be a giant bulky duty holster. So I'm just going to undo these screws here, and we'll go over this real quick. This is really straightforward. It's not something you do on the fly. It's definitely mission specific, but it only takes a couple seconds to rig this up. And it's not like I've got a ton of practice at this, So we're going to reserve those for later, and take this out. And there'll be two more, where'd I put those little guys? There. couple more screws left over. So those go aside, and then we just take this guy, hook that up. Now, you know, watch the time. This isn't the most time-consuming thing ever. Yeah. I'm pretty pleased with the way this turned out. Daryl has been incredibly patient with this process. We've had some setbacks in terms of, you know, just getting it together to get this sheet cut, and I wasn't sure if I was going to have to make any kind of like changes to the dimensions of the holster to accommodate the pattern. I just kind of wanted to see what it was going to be before I got involved in it. So knowing what I know now, I could have just made this holster normally, and that would have been the end of the process and had it 99% of the way ready to go. But I really wanted to, you know, when you jump ahead and you do stuff before you get all the parts. The one thing I learned being a mechanic is that you don't touch anything until you get the parts in front of you. Because as soon as you start touching stuff and you know, working on stuff and taking things apart and doing permanent things or semi-permanent things, you're going to wind up in a situation where what you get delivered to you doesn't meet your needs, or, you know, something goes wrong, and then you've already committed time and resources to it. So here we go. Now we're going to take these guys. Around there, we've got the short little tactical ties, and feed them through there. Now, of course, you can see that they can go the other way, and you can run it vertically on your vest if that's your choice. I'm going to put my beer over here so I don't spill it. Take the vest. Where am I going to put this? I'll put it here. That looks good. Through, just like that. Now the question is, would I, you know, in a time-critical situation, make the choice to change my setup or, you know, run with what I have? You know, it's up to you. I imagine that a little more practice you can get pretty good at this. But, you know, yeah, the speed is an issue. Yeah, that's for sure. But it's also, it doesn't start off as a duty-style holster. It starts off as a slim, concealable, everyday carry holster that you can then effectively press into service in your rig here. So those are in there. Those are in place. It fits really good. It doesn't flop away from the vest too much. I'm going to suit up and show you guys this pretty quickly. So I usually have something a little bulkier on under this vest, so it's not quite set up the way I like it at the moment. So yeah, even, you know, if we were to estimate the added weight of a gun, the straps are nice and short, so it's not going to flop too far away. It holds the gun nice and close to the rig. It draws pretty evenly. So yeah, I think that's pretty successful. Of course, you know, you can mount it anywhere you want. I'm not going to take this all down and demonstrate that you can do it vertically, but I don't have the cummerbund on right now because I was adjusting it. But you could, you know, run the gun vertically on the cummerbund for your vest. Holds it in place. As you can see on the side, the profile's nice and low. It's not like one of those giant Blackhawk ones that sticks out. You probably can even, you know, get a seat belt over it or keep it out of the way of your carbine if that's what you're carrying as well. And yeah, I mean, it has all the same fit and finish as a conventional holster. I buff the edges. I don't treat it any differently. However, it is set up to accept this adapter plate. You know, let's take this guy out. You can see it doesn't shift around. It doesn't like slide when you want it to stay put. It's pretty solid. I think that's a pretty good solution to this. And even with the weight of the full-size SIG, I mean, I imagine, you know, if this had a plate in it, it would be more sturdy. Or if it were tight over, you know, soft body armor. But yeah, I hope this was worth the wait, Daryl, because I'm extremely proud of this, and I'm looking forward to making some more of these now that I have the system worked out. Thanks for being the guinea pig, certainly, and I'd really like to see it in action once we get it over to you. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing this really fun project with me, and to Adam over at Gunfighters Inc. This was my MOLLE holster throwdown. So it does two things in one, man. So I might have cheated. Yeah, I cheated. Okay, so I don't want to hear about it.